They stole my home, my family, and every ounce of trust one had left. But they forgot something. I'm still breathing, and that means I'm not done. You don't get to burn a man's life and expect him to stay in the ashes. My name's Reed Calloway, I'm 38, and I work forklifts for a warehouse in Toledo, Ohio. My life used to be a loop, steel-toed boots at 5:30 a.m., lunch in a paper bag, country radio on low, back home by 6, leftovers, silence, then sleep. I didn't mind it. Routine gave me purpose, predictability. I was proud of that kind of life, proud of how I showed up for my family. Until I learned that showing up doesn't mean they'll wait for you. I should have seen it sooner, the late-night phone calls, the careful glances exchanged when I entered a room, but I was too busy keeping everything together to notice it was already falling apart. Her name was Talia, my wife of 9 years, realtor, smart, ambitious, always 5 steps ahead. And then there was Jace, my best friend since high school, the one I split rent with after my parents died, the one I called brother in my wedding speech. I worked weekends for overtime so Talia could finish her broker certification. I co-signed a loan for Jace's detailing shop when he said the bank wouldn't help a guy like him. I bent backwards for them, thought we were a team. But cracks started showing, Talia's smiles grew shorter, her patience thinner, Jace started texting less, unless Talia was around. One night, I handed her roses, she sighed, barely looked. "You're always trying to fix things that aren't broken," she said, brushing past me. I should have asked questions, instead, I just worked harder. Then one Wednesday, the rain kept me from driving to work, I came home early. The lights were low, I heard music upstairs, jazz, Talia's favorite. 2 glasses on the counter, one still cold, her coat on the hook, his boots by the stairs. Laughter, then silence. Then Talia's voice, "Don't stop, he's not due back until 6. I froze, not with rage, not even sadness, just a cold, slow unraveling from inside. I climbed halfway up the stairs, just enough to see the flicker of candlelight from the bedroom. Didn't knock, didn't speak, just stared, long enough for her to finally see me. Talia gasped. Jace stood there shirtless, holding her like I used to. "Reed," she stammered, this isn't what it looks like." "No," I whispered, "it's exactly what it looks like." I turned, walked out, rain soaking my shirt, keys clenched in my hand like they might break. I didn't sleep for 2 days, just sat in my truck parked behind a closed diner, watching the rain smear across the windshield. Didn't answer calls, didn't scream, didn't drink. I just breathed. On day 3, I pulled into the church lot for the free coffee they gave out to anyone down bad. That's when Mara Elridge found me, a quiet widow in her 50s, who'd lost her husband to cancer. She saw me sleeping in my truck the next night, and by morning, she tapped on my window with a thermos and a question. "You got a place to go, or just pride keeping you here?" She gave me a room, a clean one, with blue sheets and a lavender candle burning by the window. I hadn't felt that kind of warmth since childhood. And she didn't ask me to talk, she just listened when I finally did. The messages came like a flood. "Talia, you're being ridiculous. I made a mistake, but we can work through it. Don't do anything stupid. You're not the victim here. You left me." Jace called once. "Bro, you ghosting us?" "Look, it wasn't even serious, you gotta stop making this a thing." I replied only once. "I didn't make this a thing, you did." Then silence. The more I didn't respond, the louder they panicked. What they didn't know. Mara's home, the one Talia once tried to flip and underprice for profit, was now legally co-owned. Mara had no kids, and after a month of talking, she added me as beneficiary in her will, said I reminded her of someone who didn't give up. When Talia, desperate to get her face back in real estate circles, booked a public open house at Mara's without knowing I was part owner, she showed up smiling, ready to charm. Until she saw me. I stood beside Mara, holding a folder of legal documents. Mara's voice was calm, but cutting. "You no longer have permission to represent this property, and you'll be removed from the listing by tomorrow." Gasps. One of her clients walked out, another pulled their phone out, recording. Talia's jaw trembled. Reed, you can't do this. I'm not doing anything, I said, walking away. I just stopped letting you. Talia's license was suspended 3 weeks later for ethics violations. Jace's shop shut down after his investors pulled out. Apparently, betrayal doesn't look great on LinkedIn. I stayed with Mara, fixed her porch, built bookshelves, cooked Sunday eggs like her husband used to. We weren't lovers, not yet, but she became something deeper than that. Proof that kindness, quiet and fierce, still exists. And in her home, I found a version of myself that wasn't broken, just reforged. Now, I wake up to birdsong instead of alarms, coffee shared on a porch with someone who asks how I slept, and means it. I lost a wife, lost a best friend. But I found peace. And sometimes, that's the rarest kind of love. Have you ever been shattered by betrayal and came out stronger? Tell me in the comments, your voice matters here. Subscribe if you believe dignity isn't weakness. Because what they tried to bury just grew back stronger.